main. That's the main.
That's our main, like in terms of just talking to people. This is the wide, everybody, and that's theirs.
So I need to be talking to that.
Yeah, you can
All
talk
right,
to that
that's
or
yours,
that.
and that's mine. That's me and Nesbitt's right there.
Y'all can talk to these two. We can talk to those two at any point in time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they all recording the card too.
We're recording right now.
All right, bet.
Awesome.
Cool.
Good.
We'll clap one more time. That was terrible.
Yeah, I lost hearing in this ear.
Yeah, right. So we ready?
Ready? Yes, we're ready.
Y'all ready? Get a smile on your face.
Let's do it.
Okay, Trent,
This
go
is the
ahead.
Memphis Sounds Podcast on StarNewsVIP.com. We are very delighted to have this podcast. It's me, Trini Williams, along with a couple of my friends that I have with me. And with Nesby and Adam, we'll be going not just in Memphis, Tennessee, but all around the globe, interviewing, talking, discussing, enjoying times with people who are a part of Memphis. They may have been born in Memphis, or maybe they have been lived in Memphis for a period of time. Either way, we want to show what the true sound of Memphis is all about throughout the Memphis Sound Podcast. Who we have with us today is a Memphis Metro native. His name is Malik Mayweather, and he's been around for quite some time, all right, nearly a few decades, but you know what? He's done some phenomenal things. Coming up in Olive Branch, Mississippi, actually going to college at the University of Miami, getting his degrees intact as well, actually started working, but now he's an entrepreneur in several different capacities. What we're going to do today, we're going to spend some time just to get to know him personally as well as professionally. And we're excited to have Malik here with us. Glad to have you here today, Malik.
For sure,
Malik.
for sure. I appreciate y'all
Nah,
having me.
I threw up to you. You didn't throw up to you when
What
he
you
said to
mean?
you. Did you throw it up to
I ain't throw it up, but I got it on my jacket, so it's always
always thrown.
with me, man.
That was
Okay.
the you. I thought he was about to pray, you know.
Nah, it's the you. The you.
Oh, the you.
It's a
Okay,
you. It's
the
a you thing. You wouldn't
The you.
understand.
I don't
You
understand.
wouldn't
I don't
understand.
understand.
You
I
know
don't
what I'm saying?
understand.
But no, I mean, I'm honored to be here. You know, we're working together on some different things already, and you know, didn't anticipate jumping into this realm and doing this with you guys so fast. I'm usually behind the camera, but it's an honor to be in front of the camera and be acknowledged. Because I try to do my best to make sure I acknowledge other people. So I appreciate you guys doing this right here. It's definitely needed, and definitely want to give you guys your flowers in terms of putting this together and even having an idea to expand on.
And thank you as well, because you know what? You give a positive outlook on Memphis. Even down in Florida where you're residing now, even where you go and do businesses all over the country, you show a positive outlook for Memphis. And that's what this is all about. So in one or two sentences, tell us about your businesses.
So I'm Malik Mayweather. First business ever was Unconquered Fitness. I got it on today. Still active. I'm not really involved in too much of the day-to-day now. Do that with my best friend Marcus LaFleur. Known him since 10th grade, and that's the first thing. That's what got me into entrepreneurship. And then from there, a couple different ventures. I went into healthcare actually. So my path to entrepreneurship is somewhat conventional, somewhat unconventional, right? Got my degrees from Miami, master's in health administration, undergraduate in health administration, basically the same thing. And went into healthcare. I was on track to be a COO in a healthcare system in 3 to 5 to 7 years through the residency program I was doing. And, you know, 6 weeks after I moved back, my father got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. So I'm 6 weeks in. He gets diagnosed with colon cancer. My mom is staying with me. I'm helping her lose weight because the first business I'm really good at. I'm still a great personal trainer. I could do that if I wanted to every day of the week. So I helped her lose weight. My now fiance's birthday was coming up, and then I ended up with COVID. All within like a 6-week span of starting a new job in healthcare that looks very different from what I learned in school. So within the midst of all of that, I just realized that, you know, going through that year, that residency program, it was going to be really tough for me to be here and around for my father as much as I need to be when you talk about trying to level up in a healthcare organization. Corporate,
Exactly.
You know, Fortune 100, Fortune 500 company, HCA is, you know, it was like, man, I don't see myself doing this right now where I'm at, and I need to make a change. And luckily,
family first. Yeah.
right? And luckily, I had already started entrepreneurship to the point where I trusted myself because I've gone from not having something, not having money or a situation to sustain me, to actually having it from my brain. Like, okay, I need this, and put this together and ask these people this thing, and I can get some sales, and now I'm making money.
Yeah.
I started to trust myself. So that's where we got to, and then graduated from fitness to understanding more about cameras and all of that, and got into the production space and became a realtor. And now I've married those two things.
Yeah,
and that's
put it
kind
all
of
together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the niche market.
And you got to believe in yourself. You know?
You got to. And the niche market that I decided to go into with production was individuals like Trini, like you guys, who your face is your business card, and you attract people to your business through those things. And I want to help those individuals. So working with Key Leads Media is the name of the company, and Key Leads Media is a brand and a production company that helps people build their brands and keep going, growing and scaling. So that's kind of the shortest version I can give you of how I got into entrepreneurship.
But you know, before you even go any further, you talking about the fitness. You help your mom lose weight. You help some other folks lose and get in shape and all of that. Because Unconquered Fitness, okay, is nothing to play with. I'm a member myself, okay, and I tell you what. His partner Marcus, man, he like stack, man, legs like tree trunks, man.
You've been like that since 10th grade. Look, ask Kareem.
Big guy.
He been that way the whole time.
Man,
He was born that way.
He's working me to death, man. So when I look at my schedule of things he want me to do for the day, sometimes I be like, man, who's he think I am, the Hulk or something? But you know what? I go and make it happen. So I've been feeling the results of that. It's making me feel a lot better, look a lot better, and I tell you what, in about another 60 days or so, man, y'all probably start seeing the new trending, man. Y'all see the new trending going on because of the consistency with Unconquered Fitness. Now, before we go to talking about Key Leads Media and real estate, how do people get information about Unconquered Fitness?
Oh, well, you can just go to unconqueredfit.com. You can call us, 901-295-9880. Contact at unconqueredfit.com. All of those work. If you schedule a consultation, then we'll get on the phone with you and see if you're a right fit. Generally it's up to the trainers that we've brought in to prime their schedule and say who they want to work with. I don't try to micromanage who people want to work with because everybody's not for everyone in terms of training, and you have to be comfortable with people if you're going to work with them 3-4 times a week. Yeah. So we don't micromanage that, but if you're serious, you shouldn't have a problem working with any of our trainers, and we get results. So.
Okay.
And they're virtual as well because they have an app, right? Unconquered Fitness has an app, and you interact with the app with your programming. You interact with the app with your trainer, your coach, all right, to get yourself fit, man. I really appreciate it. And it's been working me pretty good, man.
So you have it set up like Peloton where you can just you can get on the app and.
So we don't
Peloton has nothing on this, man. This is more personal than Peloton.
This is specialized.
Shout out to Peloton.
Specialized.
Yeah, this
Boo,
is
Peloton.
Boo Peloton.
No shout out to
2 thumbs
Peloton.
up on Unconquered Fitness, man.
Well, I want to kind of change direction a little bit. Kind of give us an idea of people, to inspire young people, even anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur. It's kind of good to know where you come from.
Gotcha.
Give us an idea of where in Memphis you come from, where in the Mid-South you come from, how did you get to Florida, and what did you do in Florida? Kind of, just give us a little background.
Gotcha.
How it all got started.
Yeah, I'm originally, I'm from South Memphis. I was born in Washington D.C. actually, so that's where my parents met, and then moved down here. Among my parents splitting when I was younger. But I was raised in South Memphis. I don't remember D.C. like that. I mean, I still got family up there. Obviously, I visited. But South Memphis, Alcee Road, around the corner from Hamilton.
Of course.
I lived in South Memphis pretty much my whole life outside of a few years.
Okay.
So it's straight South Memphis for me. We talk about where Young Dolph got killed in Makita's Cookies.
Yeah.
I drove around that corner to get onto the interstate every day.
Every day. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I come from.
Okay. South Memphis.
Obviously, sports allowed me to kind of shield myself.
So you played. Where did you play football?
I played football at Olive Branch, football and baseball.
Okay, baseball. Okay.
Right. So that segued into how I got to Florida. Right.
Gotcha.
So South Memphis to going to Olive Branch for better sports because Hamilton was good at basketball when I was coming through, but they ain't had no baseball and football like that. Yeah. You know, when my dad went there, they were good at football. Roman Bates and all them. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? But Olive Branch was a powerhouse. We won state, and I played baseball and football there. Okay. So I went to a baseball camp down at the University of Miami. Wow. Because originally I wanted to go to Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and Stanford. Yeah. Okay. Went to a baseball camp in Miami. They wanted to, put me in position and say, hey, we could possibly give him a scholarship. We want to see how he does this season, all these different things with baseball. But I wanted to play both in college. Okay. So fast track into finishing up junior and senior year. Did really good. Struggled a little bit more in baseball in my senior year, but football was good. Baseball was good 11th grade too. And I went down to Miami as a preferred walk-on. Wow. I didn't want to go to junior college because at that point the stigma behind junior college was you didn't have the grades. It wasn't as hype as it was now. Now it's So I go to Miami, want to play both sports. So baseball isn't going to offer me because if they offer me and then football offers me, then the scholarship's null and void. I signed this one, but this one took over and you lost money you could have gave to another kid because this kid was going to be here anyway. So that happened. Preferred walk-on, earned my scholarship there, but in the midst of that, I left and went to East Mississippi. Last Chance U on Netflix. Okay. I went to that JUCO and broke my ankle there. Wow. So a lot of ups and downs in terms of the sports career, but ended up back in Miami finishing my degree. Okay. And that's awesome. All the way from South Memphis. So you have a bachelor's and you got a master's and an associate's. Really? Yeah, associate's from the junior college. I think this guy is he's determined to be successful. What do you think?
Well, that's where I want to go. What's your why? I mean, you come from South Memphis. You end up in Miami at the U. You left Miami, ended up going to the
East
Netflix,
Mississippi.
right?
Yep, East Mississippi Community.
And then you go back to the University of Miami. There's a reason, there's a drive behind that. What is that, and what would you recommend to young guys that's coming up behind you that will probably lose faith because you went through some stages, some steps to get to where you were. Yep. Especially going to Last Chance U is basically, it's in the title, it's Last Chance. So talk about how you got to Last Chance, why you got there, and what kept you going.
Got you. So to answer the Last Chance question first, I was at University of Miami. They asked me to move to DB. I played receiver my whole life. Outside of 8th grade, from 8th grade on to finishing school, I played receiver. Never played DB. They asked me to change positions. I said, no, I'm not comfortable with that. I'll fight. I'll be a dog. I don't care if you think people better than me, this, that, and the third. I'm going to grind it out because that's just where I come from. That's who I am. And I go into practice the next day. I got a green defensive jersey. And I'm like, I just said no yesterday. Like, why I got a defensive jersey? And then when it's time, and at this point, I redshirted my freshman year, just going into my sophomore year. Okay. Spring, I had rotated some with the 2 huddle and was looking to get on special teams. Again, earned my scholarship like they said I could because at that point, Miami was on sanctions and under the microscope. So they didn't have the scholarships in the first place. Even if they wanted to offer me one, it was tied up and they already had their boards and whatnot. And I came down for baseball and then ended up getting introduced. So it's not like I was just really on their radar like that. But my dream school, favorite school since I was young. They pulled that under that coaching regime, and I wasn't okay with that, being treated like just another body, because I'm not sorry. And I got respect from all my peers. I was not a sorry football player. I had some injuries, but I know by no means, by anybody that knows me or seen me play thinks I'm sorry. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to go for that. I'm just going to go somewhere else. And then I ended up seeing that my high school quarterback was at East Mississippi, and my best friend, Marcus, Unconquered Fitness, was at East Mississippi, ended up being my roommate. Okay. So went there, the coaching staff changed, and it turns out that we still had to pay some money back to Miami, and I wasn't going to get my transcript released anyway to go anywhere else, because the only other school that had interest after I broke my ankle was Kansas. But since I wasn't going to be able to probably get my transcript or some of those different things, and again, I'm still young at this point. My father is handling a lot of this stuff, talking to the schools, clearinghouse, all that. So I don't know everything at that point, but all I know is that the coaching staff changed, and I was open to going back because it felt like I could get a fresh start. On top of that, I never wanted to leave in the first place. I just felt like my hand was forced. And I wasn't going to allow how much Miami cost to go to, how good I was trying to do and be at that school, and how you look at other people get the shot and you not
And
get
you
the
not
shot
get
and you
it.
doing everything right. I wasn't going to allow that to happen at Miami at the expense of everybody that's poured into me to make sure that I could be there.
Yeah, Miami is a private school. People
it's
don't
a private
understand
school.
that.
Yeah,
It's very expensive
and
private
my
school.
goodness, it's gone up even
Yeah.
crazier now.
Yeah.
It's like 70 something.
Yeah, it's
it might be
it's-
even more than that.
And it's a very good private school too. I mean, you went to one of the best schools in the country. So, as Adam was saying, what inspired you to move, to continue to move forward, and not just, a lot of kids just come home and say, you know what?
Especially when you end up at a school with the name Last Chance. I mean, I'm pretty sure that wasn't your last chance. I'm
Right.
pretty sure there was other options out there.
It wasn't called that either at first. They just told us Netflix was gonna come film, so we didn't know the name of the show when it was recorded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we didn't know the name. We
Wow.
just literally
That's
getting
interesting.
recorded,
Yeah,
and,
then
and
they-
I'm sitting here trying to stay away from it, especially after I got hurt, but even more so because I just felt like the way some people were acting was just for the camera.
Yeah.
And again, that's just not how I'm built. Like I'm not
Gotcha.
finna flash or flex for the camera. I'm who I am with the camera, without the camera.
Without the camera, yeah.
So I just tried my best to stay away from it. Again, I wasn't featured or anything. I'm not gonna say act like I was featured, but I did my best to stay away from it. But to answer the question, and I apologize for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
The why, what keeps me going? In 2009, we lost everything. The house was gone. Stuff on the front lawn. My dad didn't even let me come home from Olive Branch Middle School. This is my first year at Olive Branch Middle School. I'm finna go to high school after this summer in 2009.
Yeah.
And he told, who's like my uncle, one of my old coaches, but I really call him Unc, Dwight. Told Dwight to pick me up from school. And I went to Dwight's house. He was like, Dwight gonna pick you up from school. I'm like, all right, cool. I ain't thinking nothing of it.
Yeah.
First time I seen my pops cry.
Yeah.
Everything gone. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? From Wall Street, because he used to be a derivative trader.
That's incredible.
And then, transition to rebuilding himself. So I've seen him rebuild everything
From-
prior to me going to college.
So that gave you that inspiration.
Yeah, so it's just, I never want to be in a position where anyone in my family, myself, or any one of the people I care about have to go through something like that.
That again, yeah.
Because of them not being diversified enough. And I told my dad this the other night, we talk about, and this is, word to what Trini does and what you guys do, we talk about diversification and spreading yourself out and making sure that you have different things going on to keep you going. Money is a derivative of energy, right? So how can you tell me to diversify my money, but not tell me to diversify my human experience and my skill set? Because if the money I'm getting is coming from the energy I'm putting out or into something so that it can bring me money later or multiply the money, then I have to diversify myself. So I'm not a proponent of niching down yourself or your skill set. I'm a big proponent of niching down your business and cornering the market. But that can only come when you figure out who you are.
Where'd you get that understanding from? Was it from your father being able to, rebuild himself
And
because
recover?
he came from?
A lot of it
market?
comes from reading. The one book that changed my life is called The Mastery of Love. It's by Don Miguel Ruiz, and it talks about expectation and how you can't really be upset and you don't own anybody. You know what I'm saying? You have expectations, and that's what makes you upset.
Yeah.
You go into a restaurant, you expect the glass to be clean. If it's dirty, you're upset. If you don't expect it to be clean, you have no reaction. So it took a lot of expectation about me deserving anything out. Like, I don't deserve nothing. I just work for everything that I got, and the grace that I get is sufficient because none of us deserve that. Because I'm a man of faith. Don't none of us deserve that from God, based on how we live and just being sinners, right? So understanding that I get a lot of grace and understanding that nothing is promised and I got to work for it has been the motivator. And that comes a lot from watching my father. That comes from my aunt. That comes from conversation with my mother. I'm an entrepreneur, hands down, though, because of my older sister. I don't like being told what to do.
Really?
I like having my own leverage and being able to do what I want to do.
Make your own schedule.
Yeah, and
You don't like being fired.
Yeah, I don't like being fired. I didn't even like people telling me or asking me did I do my homework at 5, 6, 7 years old because I want to go play the game. So I'm gonna do this homework because I want to go play my video game.
Right.
So all of that is just who I've been. I was pronounced dead at birth.
Wow.
Abruptio placenta. My mom almost died.
Yeah.
Baby,
Wow.
my doctor running down the hallway with a baby with blood clotted on his face.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't drown in amniotic fluid. My story is so deep, man. It's crazy. So that's where a lot of the why comes from. One, knowing myself.
Okay.
A lot of reading. I read almost 30 books to quit the job. I didn't just quit on a whim.
Yeah.
So your fight, I guess, not just for survival, but for success, began even before you were born.
Yeah.
And from that point on, through your parents and other people that you've interacted with, I mean, even like when you're talking about going to college at Miami, I mean, I know it's a humble university, not too much partying going on, and all of that. And that's only, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, you are kidding.
But to stay focused.
Yeah.
And to maintain.
Yeah, that's a big part.
And to accomplish those tasks.
Yeah, big part of it.
Sets a tone for others to go by. Some other young men your age, maybe some younger than you, maybe some people who are older than you, see now that, hey, if Malik can do it, so can I. Yeah. So let me ask you this question though, along with that. What can people expect from your business? Let's say like Key Leads, because we haven't talked about Key Leads Media. Can you elaborate on that and what people can actually receive from your business with Key Leads Media?
Got you. So what we do is we offer full-scale production and distribution services. It just kind of depends on what your business needs. And what you can expect from us is a team of individuals that really care about your business growing and making sure you're seen in the light that you want to be seen in as a business owner and as a company. There is no reason in this day and age where you have all this technology and ways to record content and get your message out there that you shouldn't be pushing it to the right people. Yeah. We don't need 1,000,001 clients. You need 1,000 people to give you $100 a year to get $100,000.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So if you can figure out those 1,000 true fans, you at 6 figures right there. And then when you're really rooted in yourself and you're really connecting with people, I'm big on relationships. So we want to help you through video assets, build relationships through, funnels and video business cards and testimonials showing that what you do or what you provide or the product you have is actually impacting people in a positive way and drive more people to build your revenue, your top line, and hopefully your operations are good, because I can consult in that world too. That's not necessarily a Key Leads thing. That's more of a Malik thing. Operations, I got a Lean Six Sigma green belt. So when it comes to systematically looking at things and figuring out where, you're faltering, I can do that as well outside of the company. But as far as the company, we do full scale production and distribution.
And one of the main things is, like you say, technology. A lot of people don't know enough about how to, I guess, benefit or profit from the technology. But I tell you what, Key Leads Media is on top of that for sure to make people get to that point and where they can scale their business by using the technologies of social media and online processes and all of that. And to have someone with your type of background into that shows that, hey, you're not just going to get some video footage, but you're going to get some information on how your business is able to grow. Yeah. And that's a good positive thing that we have. Hey, I'm excited for you. And the main thing along with that though is to make sure that you can be duplicatable and educating people about that. And hopefully through our businesses as well, we can help you to duplicate where more people will be able to get that information, and it'll scale your business, it'll scale other people's businesses as well, which is very good. Man, this is amazing just to hear the story that you have on this Memphis Sounds Podcast. Right now, Memphis is sounding pretty good with someone like Malik, who's setting an impact, because his business is not just tied to Tennessee and Florida. He can go anywhere. As a matter, he's been to some places with me here in the U.S. and people get excited. He also interacts with other folks as well. He knows how to get the job done. I appreciate it too, man. And I'm excited about what's going to come next, because we know it's going to get better and better, or what we say in the South, gooder and gooder. And there's no shame about me saying that.
Well,
gooder and gooder.
It should be so. Let me ask you something about your real estate. What type of What made you go into real estate? I mean, you were in physical, the health industry, and what made you want to do real estate in Florida? Did you want to come home and do real estate? Because looking at your background, I see that your company is addressed in Florida.
Yeah, so real estate wise, I always wanted to get into real estate. I know real estate is a path to wealth, and it's a thought that I had the other day, right? These thoughts come in and I just write them down and try to keep them. But an asset is something that grows in value, whether you touch it or not, or that brings you cash flow. So a lot of people's real estate understanding is that I'm gonna buy a house, I got an asset. It's like, nah, because you gotta work to pay that asset off. And if you don't work, the asset is gone. So unless the asset's producing money for you, you're not getting no money from it. So it's not really assets, a liability. So I wanted to get into real estate to, one, dispel the myth of going and buying a home and automatically thinking it's an asset. It's a tool that can build wealth and turn into an asset, but it's not. That's the first one. And the second thing I thought was, well, everything that's ever happened to me are the industries that I've gone into. We lost a house. I need to understand real estate. I don't want to lose the house again. I need to understand how this works.
That's a good why. That's a real good why.
Yeah. Right.
Very good.
And the same thing with healthcare. Grandparents weren't treated the best in the healthcare facilities that I had been in before, beforehand.
That's a big
So
problem.
I wanted to get into healthcare to understand that, to be an advocate, to understand how it goes. And I got into the biomed program in Miami, and I thought about pre-med, but playing two sports, I decided to go into administration and ops because I just felt like, all right, well, if I'm not going to cut on people and actually see patients, then I can help build a system that actually does it correctly. And then production-wise, it's kind of just my vice, but I solved the problem for myself from a fitness standpoint. I didn't get into production because I just wanted to. I got into production because I needed good quality camera and video stuff for Unconquered Fitness. And I feel like nobody would take us seriously if we were using iPhone footage at the time. So real estate is a big why because we lost everything. I just need to understand the industry, and then everything else has kind of taken that same track.
Well, I have a question, just kind of a follow-up. I want to just recognize that, and Trinity, I don't know if you had the same professor in college, but I had a professor, he was Dr. Sun, he was a Chinese guy. And I was an engineer. He always tell us when you have a problem, you always start the circle and then you complete the circle. So going through my whole life and all the businesses I've been involved in, my whole mantra was always complete the circle. Always, when you start a circle, complete it. And that way, even if it's a small circle, you never leave a project unfinished or undone. And one of the things I'm hearing you say is that all the things you've done, you've tried to complete the circle. And it's really a good way to live life. And I'm happy to hear that you accomplished so much because you've completed the circle. One of the things I want to ask you is, what are you doing to get, finance? I mean, how do you make your projects happen? One of the big obstacles that entrepreneurs have is that you got to have seed capital. You got to have your mattress money. You got to have, sell your car or get a car title pawn, or even have a rich uncle or nephew or whatever that just give you the money. So how have you been able to take these dreams that you have and actually fund them and make them a reality? I mean, did you have a secret? Did you have a mentor? Kind of give us an idea of how you were able to get funding.
So that right there would inspire someone that wants to come and be like you.
Got you. So what I did was I used the education system the way it was meant to be used, to invest in the knowledge, right? But my knowledge was, okay, let me go buy this equipment and learn about it. So when you get these refunds for going to grad school or finishing undergrad, I pocketed a lot of it. And what I pocketed, I would keep and then start working my way into getting the equipment that would serve as assets for me to start doing the work.
Okay, stop right there. You mean to tell me, instead of going to buy some Jordans, instead of going to buy that fly chain
or a
new car or some spinners,
I'll go hang out for the weekend.
Take that trip. Yeah, you invested the money.
Yeah, I've missed out on a lot of different things that friends have done for a long time just because I was trying to get in the right position for myself. Because when you don't make it and other people do, quote unquote, to the league or whatever, it's like they start living a different life. I'm not one of those people that fall into peer pressure or compare my life a lot because I'm me regardless. So what I looked at was like, all right, I'll see y'all when I can see y'all. But
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta do what I gotta do because again, my why is I don't want this house to be gone when I get it. I don't want to have to, look at my family and say, yeah, it's over with. Although if it did fall all down, I can build it back up because I've been there.
Yeah.
A lot of people ain't really been in the fire, so they don't know what it's like. And then our relationship with money is messed up. Yeah. We don't understand that money is a tool. Like I said, it's a derivative of the energy you put in. And when I say derivative, meaning that it's basically an output for the energy you put in. Meaning if I work for this, I get this.
You get this. Yeah.
Right? To break it down simple for anybody that might not understand that term.
So you basically took all the things that you had learned, and then you benefited from those refunds, and what you're saying is you invested in yourself. You took those the money that was created by you in graduate school, college, whatever, and you reinvested that money, and you didn't waste it or you didn't squander it on material things. And because you had completed the circle so many times, failure was not something that discouraged you, right? Because you knew that if you complete the circle, you'll have that one complete. You go to the next one. So I'm just excited that you were able to do those things. Yeah. Tell us why you never gave up. I mean, it was at any point where you said, you know what, this is just too tough. What motivated you from ever stopping?
It's kind of like Nip Hussle said on the interview, like, I went through every emotion. I just didn't quit. It's the same thing. And I don't think that's nothing new. I think, his platform was so big that it went viral. But I think there's a lot of other people like myself that they feel all those emotions. I've had the pit in my stomach. I don't know where this next check gonna come from. I don't know where this next client is gonna come from. I just know that I'm putting myself out there. And I didn't quit because I was seeing results. Yeah. I was getting better at doing the same things that were working faster. I saw that I was making progress, even if it was just a little bit at a time. And I understood that from reading and just the people I watch and the rooms I put myself in, that real wealth is exponential. It's not linear. So I understood that it might be some low periods, but then the one right relationship shoots you up, or the one, pandemic makes everybody shift to social and you got an online business already, and boom, you already had the
and you know what?
there.
Did you have a mentor? I mean, you mentioned relationships quite a few times. Mm-hmm. Did you have someone, I know you mentioned your sister, but there was someone who gave you that inspiration?
That you can just pick up the phone, give a call, and I have a question. Can you help me with this? I have a situation. I need your advice.
Yeah, so I have a lot of mentors, and most of them are friends of my father's, people that are part of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, just like myself. But I grew up, I'm the only boy. I think that's a lot of my drive too, is I got 3 sisters, 2 nieces, a goddaughter, godson. Like, I got a lot of people that I care about.
So you never saw the inside of the bathroom?
Nah, I still don't with my fiance right now. Jesus, Lord forgive me for saying your name in vain. But man, it's being the only boy. It's being able to call on all those that were older than me because I was the only boy and I hung around my father, so I'm hanging around them. Yeah. And I'm actually listening. But I think the overwhelming, most influential thing outside of reading that book, The Mastery of Love, is my grandmother.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting to. That somebody motivated you.
Yeah, my grandmother told me to always keep asking why. Yeah. I would ask why, and some people would get irritated. I was a kid. Yeah. But she would always tell me to keep asking why. And because of that, I've never not asked it, and I've always, again, like you said, I like the concept, completed the circle. So I'm asking why until I can complete the circle. Yeah. I'm one of those individuals, and this is why I didn't go into higher math type classes. I could get the problem right, but if I don't know why I got it right, I'm sitting here until I figure that out. Yeah. Because I understand that that's a mistake to keep going if you don't understand why. Because you're going to make a mistake later and you're not going to know how to solve it.
You won't know how to fix it.
And I didn't want that to happen in school on paperwork because I'm trying to get the good grades to get the degrees to go where I want to go. But also because I think it's just a good pattern to follow in life in terms of how do I complete this circle. And I love that concept a lot.
Yeah, and that's actually from Taoism and Buddhism, because if you notice, you'll always see the yin and yang sign, and it's actually a circle because, positive goes to negative, female goes to male. It's everything. It's a balance, and that circle is the balance of life. And really, that's what God is all about anyway. How do you balance your life? How do you because and Adam and I were talking earlier, and he was talking about some things that were negative that was happening. And he said, Nesby, the reason why I know my life is going well is because here comes more negativity. And you'll find in life, as you get more positive things happen, and this is something I've observed in my life, you get a lot more negative things that start trying to pull you back. Because it's a balance.
Obstacles get in your way. Things happen to you, like, I wonder why this happened. Because you're doing something right. Well, not all the time, because there are some bad things that happen to people because they bring negativity in their life. But if you're doing something positive, but other things keep getting in your way to try to slow you down, then I know I'm going in the right direction, because there are things that's trying to slow me down. Not something negative, but it'll be something that's like a hindrance.
Gotcha.
It's just another obstacle that I have to go over, go around, go under, or whatever I have to do, so when you're going in the right direction. Now, I don't mean to jump in front of you, Trini, but we know you've done a lot of successful things at a young age. If you can do it all over again, what would you do different? I'm pretty sure there were some things that happened that you wish you could. If I only known, I would have done this different.
Yeah.
And that could, just try to share some advice to everyone, not just younger people, but to everyone that, all right, if I can do it over again, I wouldn't do this. If I can do it all over again, I wouldn't go to Miami. I'd just go to a HBCU.
So I only got
maybe
a
not. I'm pretty sure you love being down in
Yeah,
Miami.
no, I mean,
Miami ain't a bad place to be.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem. PWI or HBCU, the goal for me was trying to make it to the NFL. So I feel like that.
Favorite team, favorite NFL team.
Colts.
Colts.
Yep. Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Adrian James, Bob Sanders, Dwight Freeney. Yeah, that's my. Yeah.
Okay. No Cowboy, huh?
Nah, I can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. But no, it's a couple things. The one thing from a sports perspective, I would have just shifted to playing baseball only. In Miami, when they tried to make me defense, I would have just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go play baseball, go play fall ball, figure out how to stay here, and make baseball happen.
Really?
Because it's not like I was bad at baseball. I just need to get used to the pitching speed. But from a fielding perspective, I don't think there was anybody out there that was gonna be better than me at fielding.
So are you saying that playing football was a mistake?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I felt more comfortable playing football. I feel like, but I played it longer. I started baseball late with the odds against me. Everybody been playing since they was 6. 5 years old. I started at 11. Nobody even wanted to throw with me except a couple people. And those are still lifelong friends to this day. So that's my first one. And then the second one is actually, even though I jumped into entrepreneurship at the, understanding that my father had gotten sick and also my mom's sick now as well. So like we found that out last year. So I'm dealing with both parents that have cancer at the same time. Wow. But jumping out into entrepreneurship wasn't a mistake. I just wish I knew a little bit more. So I can't really say it's a regret, but had I known what I know now about real estate, W-2 income, qualifying for mortgages, these different things, I would have stayed longer to purchase a home down in Florida based off having the income on paper through that healthcare organization. Because then I would have been able to get a property. I would have been able to keep continuing building equity as I'm doing these other things. And then when it comes time to leverage that equity to do something else, whether it be business or buy another property, I'm stacking my wealth.
Exactly.
I'm starting from ground zero now, having to do my paperwork and my funding and all that correctly. And again, I'm at that kind of precipice where you go right here, and then you shoot up, and it's just going to take a couple more years of doing things a certain way before I can say, all right, let me go buy this house and or this multifamily and do all those different things. So those are my only two. I don't really have many more because if I didn't know who I was like I do now, I think I'd still be lost even if I looked successful. And I might not look as successful as I would if I'd have made it all the way to the league or the MLB or just any precipice of success. Maybe I look good then, but I don't know myself. And I feel like that's not successful. That clarity that I have now is something, like that's my overall why, is to give other individuals like who are going through what I'm going through, former athletes, new entrepreneurs, people older than me, whatever. I really just want to get in front of people and provide clarity for them because it makes no sense for us to have suicidal millionaires, as I mentioned in the TED Talk, and it makes no sense for us to have people doing things that they don't want to do when tomorrow isn't promised. You don't get to know when you're going to leave here. The Baltimore Bridge failed. They were doing night shift, fixing potholes.
Yeah.
And now it's
No
6
idea.
individuals that are gone that didn't know that the day before. So how can you spend your time not trying to dig yourself out the hole once you figure out that you went the wrong way? The key is understanding that you went the wrong way. And I was able to see that in a couple different areas and shift early enough to have this perspective and try to give this perspective to others.
Well, I'll tell you what, Malik, no matter what anybody else says, the proof is in the pudding. You are successful. You are a success. And I'll tell you what, the best is yet to
Everything go to
come.
food with you.
The best is yet to come on.
You always bringing up food.
What food?
Everything. Proof is in the pudding.
I think because it's lunchtime.
It is.
It always ends up being about food.
You must be hungry.
You was talking about getting healthy.
You like pudding?
Work it out, but you keep going back.
like
to
food?
Hey, look.
There's a Mexican
Eat
restaurant
some
right
pudding
over
if you
there.
want to. Marcus got you.
Hey, Trent, there's a Mexican restaurant right over there.
No. Actually, I'm going to.
I told you.
I am going.
He's already got it picked
I
out.
am going to get some meals that already been prepared.
I'm sure you will.
From Chef Avery King.
I'm
He
sure you
prepared
will.
some meals.
I'm sure you will.
They're totally vegan,
Are you willing to share those
gluten free,
meals?
and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I get half.
Yeah. Meet me at the co-op kitchen. Meet me at the co-op kitchen. I'm serious. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a very
He's
good
gonna
chef.
eat like a rabbit.
So that's where
Okay.
I am going. So it won't be any pudding there.
For sure.
But getting back to this, you are a complete success. The best is yet to come, and we're excited about that. We're excited about what you've already brought to the table and what's going to be coming in the future. What I see is all your business efforts raising and rising and going up higher and higher because you're not going to give up. And with that, other folks are going to learn how to do that as well. Just like you brought other people into business along with you, like Marcus, and there are others as well, Kareem over here as well. So it's not just you. You're impacting other people's lives so that they too can succeed. So we're excited about you. We're glad to have you on this Memphis Sounds Podcast.
Thanks for coming,
It's been
Malik.
worthwhile.
It's
Right here, right now.
Sounds-
Memphis Sounds Lounge Podcast.
Yeah.
That's the full title of this
Is it?
new podcast. Oh no, it's not. I stand corrected. Memphis Sounds Lounge Podcast. Silver Star VIP.
Star News VIP.
Star News
VIP.
I stand corrected. Star News VIP.
Oh, that's what you were trying to say.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's trying.
It's a collaboration.
So we
It's a
want
collaboration.
to thank Malik Mayweather. I want to thank our host Trini and Adam May. We have
And
had
thank yourself as well.
Yeah, and I want to thank myself. I'm Nesby. This is Trini. This is Adam. This is Malik. We had a great discussion today, and Trini, send us off with a prayer.
I want to thank one more person before you do that. I want to thank the guys working on the roof and outside for keeping it quiet until now, right before we finish.
That's thanks to the lady up front.
Shout out to Mel. Shout out to Culture Collab for allowing us to be here.
Yeah.
This
Shout
whole
out.
production. And yeah, everybody involved. And that's it, man. I appreciate y'all for having me. And I take my hat off so you can.
That's called Ashe.
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 Well, thank you, God, for this wonderful moment. We thank you for the Memphis Sounds Lounge Podcast and for StarNewsVIP.com. We thank you for our special guest, Malik. We ask you to bless all these businesses and also for us to be a sounding board for Memphis and all the Memphians who are doing great and positive things all around the globe. Amen.
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 That's a wrap.
No, what's up?
Oh, yeah.
What you think, Kareem?
I try to